Preston Salem with Home Inspection Carolina, and today I want to talk to you about stucco. This is just a cutout section of stucco. And there's different types of stucco. There's EIFS, which is the exterior insulation finishing systems, soft coat stucco. Lots of problems with that because of it trapping moisture. This is hard coat stucco. And there's basically two different types of that. It's applied to masonry already, like center block or something like that. When it's applied straight to masonry, it only needs two coats. But what you'll see a lot of time is where it's applied to a lathe or this wire mesh, lathe mesh, and it requires three coats. The first coat is what they consider the scratch coat. But let me back up just a little bit. So normally, you have the framing of the house, the some type of sheathing, OSB, plywood, probably OSB, and then it's going to need a building wrap of some waterproof material. So then on top of the building wrap, they're going to put the lathe, and I could go into great depth. There's lots of little things with it on the corners and, big sections. They have to have expansion joints, so that it cracks, so that it controls cracks or, keeps it from cracking sort of thing. But anyway, that's another video. But basically, I'm just trying to hit the high points here. So what they're going to put down first is the scratch coat. And there's a reason they call it that. So they're basically going to, they trowel it up, straight up. They have to mix, Quikrete makes it. Quikrete makes it. Other people make it as well. But it's the base coat or scratch coat. And they usually, take it from the bottom up about 3/8 of an inch. Then once they get it done, they come by with this rake tool that leaves it like grooved, and that's why it's called scratch coat, because from there you can hang the brown coat once that dries. Now you've got to let that dry 24 hours, and then you're going to come back with your second coat, which is called the brown coat, and it hangs on there by because of that scratch coat. It's got all these grooves where it hangs in there. The scratch coat holds on to the lathe, and it needs to be a good consistency when they hold the trowel, sorry, at a 90-degree angle. It should stick. If it runs off, it's going to be a little too watery, or if it's too powdery, it's not going to adhere, and it's probably going to crack. So you need it, clumpy, and hold on to the trowel at a 90-degree angle. All right, so they apply the coats at a 45-degree angle with the tool. So the second coat is the brown coat, and then you've got to let that set for like 24 hours. And then you're going to come back with the finish coat. And the finish coat, you apply it on. There's several different types of finishes you could have. This kind of looks like the spongy type finish. You can kind of have that sort of trowel, rough thing. Some people like that finish. There's also one where they kind of make it smooth, but then they splatter little specks on it. It just depends on how you want the coat. But the important thing to remember is, it's usually three coats on top of a metal mesh lathe, and that's stapled on. I forgot to mention that, onto the wood, which has the building material there. So you got a scratch coat, a brown coat, and a finish coat. And if it's done properly, it's a pretty good product. Stucco sort of got a bad name with the EIFS. And that's a whole nother story. But if stucco is done properly, hard coat stucco, it's actually a pretty good product. So anyway, this is Preston Salem with Home Inspection Carolina. If you'd like more information about home inspection or home products, your home, we have lots of information. You could either go to askthecharlotteinspector.com or homeinspectioncarolina.com. Thanks.